I was born in Tarragona, which is a city like an hour from Barcelona, because my parents, or my father, he was working there. My dad is a doctor, and he was working in a hospital there. For me, I was obsessed with football. My father always says like, you were 2 years old and you were kicking everything. Like you were obsessed. I said to my dad when I was 9 years old, I wanted to be professional and be really good at football. And of course, he said, listen, you will have to work really hard. But that's what I did. Just focus on football and work hard. I was spending a lot of time outdoors. At that time, no PlayStations, no nothing at all. And I was playing all day long on the streets with friends and my brother playing football, and that was my childhood. Until I was 13, that I had to take a decision to move to another club to start improving and taking more serious my career. But it wasn't difficult. I had to take that decision when I was 13 years old. I am going to remember all my life. I was sitting in the car because I play a game. It was like a trial. I play a game and they say yes to my parents, and three of us, we were sitting in the car, and they said to me, Bruno, they said yes. Are you sure you want to do it? Because you will have to move to this city. You will have to live, on your own, because I was in a residence. And I had so clear, of course it was difficult to leave friends, to leave family, but I really had a clear and a dream and a goal, and I was enjoying it. For me, it was play football. It's just like pure joy, and that was my thing. I've been lucky that the education that I had, I had my mom and dad always behind me, and they're really proud of that. But for me, it's like always I've got my dad and my mom here, in any decision. It's like that's the right thing. That's the right thing. That's the wrong decision. That's why I've been so lucky with that, because it's not because just myself. I'm taking the decisions. Yeah, I'm good. No, it's because I had a really good education. I went to the Espanyol de Barcelona Academy. I started really well. I got to the first team as well. Not as a permanent player, but I was from the under-23s playing with them, training every day. But after that, I had a low. I went on loan to a championship team. The year after, I played again for Espanyol de Barcelona. And after that, my contract ran out. They didn't give me another year, another contract, and I moved to a League One team. That was my low. It changed everything, because until then I was playing as a right winger or midfielder, and we had a game where our right back was suspended, and I had to play as a right back. We won 5-0 and I played well, and it changed everything. And I was in a really low point where I was in League One, and it was like difficult times for me. But because I was ready, I took that chance, to play as a right back, and since then, we got promoted, and since then it went really, really, really fast. That's why, always you've got time, because from that point to play in a Champions League game, I think it took like 4 or 5 years. It's crazy how it goes, because we got promoted, we were in Championship. I moved to Almeria, where it was Championship as well. We got promoted to La Liga with the Arsenal manager, Unai Emery, and after I moved to Valencia. And I was, how quick everything it goes, and you always have, chances. I had a different, it was like up and highs and lows, it was difficult because it's a really demanding club. All the fans, they want the best, they're really difficult to please, and I had great experiences. You know, I mean, I had like good first season, second season. The last season it was difficult for me. I only played, I think, 16 games. My biggest disappointment was, I think, at some point I didn't know how to deal with the pressure at Valencia. It's not just myself. I mean, it was like quite a big thing with all the players in Valencia. They've been there. You know, it was difficult for me to deal with. Right now, I would do a lot of different things. You know, like I would be much more mature. Even I was already 29 years old. You know, like, but you know, maybe it was too early. I wasn't ready to deal with. I've been lucky that I had, like, you know, my career, I don't know, 4 or 5 promotions, and all of them they were really special. But it was a game where it was my first Champions League game. It was in Turkey, and I was standing there, and when the music of the Champions League, like when we were standing, you know, like in the game, I was like, yes, you know, that was the moment that I was looking for. You know, I've been like watching those games on TV for so many years, and now you are in one of those games. You know, for me it was a really special moment. For me, it was a really successful. Could have been better, yeah, of course. You know, like it's always can be better. You know, always a lot of stuff you can do better. You know, even if you do like almost a perfect season, could have you done it better? Yeah, of course. But for me, the main thing is in my career, I had those lows, and I woke up every day and I tried. I never give up. You know what I mean? And try it again and work harder. That's why I think, you know, I've been successful. After you can be like in a highest level, or maybe you are lowest, but if you give in everything that you've got, you've been successful. I met my wife I think it was in 2001, and we got married it was in 2004. I mean, it's been long time. We had our first kid, Paul, in 2008, and after we had Adriana, 2012. I mean, yeah, it was like, I think even with that, I've been quite lucky, you know, because it went everything like slow and smooth, and we enjoyed the process, and we enjoyed every, you know, like step. Of course, I was looking for another experience. That's why I moved to England. For me, I was obsessed, like coming to England and play football in England, and I was lucky, you know, that Brighton, you know, they were interested, and I took that decision to come here. Raquel and me, we were at the same page, you know, with that. We were happy to move, and we were really, I mean, the start, it wasn't easy, but because we had that positive mentality, it was much easier. I'm going to be really thankful to my wife, because not even one day, for the first month, that was the toughest one, she didn't even complain about it. You have to think, when I moved here, I moved to a hotel with a Mrs., 4 years old, and 1 month daughter, okay? We moved to a hotel, and we were a month in a room in the wettest summer in the last 40 years. But for us, it wasn't like a big surprise, because from Spain, it's like, yeah, in England, it's raining every day. You know, and we came and it was raining every day, and we said, okay, that's you know, that's what exactly is what they were saying. Not speaking any English, that means that we were eating every day in the dinner at the hotel, and we were eating chicken every day, because the only thing that we understood on the menu. It wasn't an easy, but she didn't even complain once, you know, and I'm really thankful for that, because imagine if you're coming back naked from training and you've got your missus like complaining, it would have been like much harder. For me, I came to Brighton because another Spanish player was playing here, who I was playing with him in Valencia, Vicente. He spoke really well about the club, the city, and after I spoke with Gus Poyet, who was the manager, and they convinced me. It was so easy to take the decision. It was important, because it makes that transition to a new culture much easier. Calde was here for already a long time, and he helped us to all the Spanish or Latinos to adapt ourselves, to settle down, and it was much easier. But at the same time, I try to don't be just with them, because if you want to learn English, you have to, just mix with everyone. And I was so lucky with my teammates, with all of them, Ashley Barnes, Gordon Green, proper Scottish man, that's why now I'm capable, or I can go anywhere in England and I understand everyone, is because I had a good teachers here. And I remember that first year with just good things, even we were in the university training with us, small changing rooms, we were split in different changing rooms because they were too small, it was a really funny time.
Right, but it's time, it's in from Bruno!
It took me some time to adapt to the English football, it's so different, and to the Championship, that is for me the hardest league in the world, and you need to adapt your body. And I had a couple of injuries that at the end of the season it didn't allow me to play the playoffs. Not that one and the next one, against Derby either. At the Amex, maybe I would say that's the bitterest moment that we had. They had a few good players where those moments they have that quality moments and they score. But it was really hard to take, because during the season we played a really good football with a really good team bonding, and to see some players that maybe they were the last chance to be there, it was hard to take. Of course, for Oscar, English, in terms of language, with Oscar it took a little bit longer. But Oscar, his strength, he doesn't speak too much, but really clear about what he wanted, And we were playing good football. Even we lost players, and we had a difficult start. And after we had Sami Hyypiä, that was totally different again. It's every manager is different. He came and he wanted to play his style. Was really expansive, and he didn't have the right players to play. The recruitment maybe wasn't the right one. We were gonna have a tough season, and the main aim was to stay up. That was the what we were talking. And I think we achieved it. And for me, it was a key moment in the Brighton history, because that could have been really hard times to go down to the League One. Yeah, it was really hard to take. That changing room after the game, it was just devastated. To see the amount of players, grown men, crying, it was really hard to see, Because, I think we got to that position because of that passion, As you said, we weren't one of the favorite sides to be up there, and we were there because that team spirit, and it was really difficult to take, and even tougher in the playoffs, of course.
Well, he's given him a straight red card.
I think it was a difficult decision, for the ref. I think he he was more focused to see players' leg than the actually action, you know. And for us, it was like, oof, you know, because we went from here to down there. Well, even after we had we had an options to win the game, but yeah, it was one of those games that is gonna be there forever. What happened there was, I don't know, everything was against us. You know, 4 injuries in 60 minutes. No chance, you know, no chance. I think the average of injuries is one per game max, you know what I mean? It's like, and we had 4. You know, it's just crazy. Of course, it can happen because you have played 46 games, you know, in a season, long season, coming from a really stressful last game. And we had so many injuries in key positions. It was really hard. It was really hard. We felt that it could have been much worse. 2-0, you know, it's not a score that is like no chance, you know, no chance. And we felt that we were capable to come back, you know, and I think we deserved it, you know, in the second leg. First half, it was one of the most amazing 45 minutes I ever played for a team. I think it was the most noisiest time that I've been like at the Amex. You know, it was the atmosphere, it was like just madness, you know, it was like crazy. And I think that helped us to start well the game. We as well, I think we play without any fear, because coming from a 2-0 down with injuries, with everything that we were going through, we thought we're gonna go, you know, and we're gonna go, and that's it. We're not even gonna think about losing game or whatever. Just we want to win this game. And I think we had 22 shots in the first half. That's just amazing, you know, and we score, and again, we were so unlucky that they score and it was a foul, you know, like, but of course, again, everything went wrong, you know, I mean, that season. Especially because of my stage of career, you know. I thought maybe it was my last chance, you know, to play in the Premier League. And I think that season I played 46 games, plus 2 players, 48 games, all of the games. When you see the effort, the sacrifice, everything that you put in, and it goes just away, you know, like it just blows, and you don't have anything to do. And I'm gonna remember all my life, like when the ref, you know, blow the whistle, and you know, I went to the floor. I wouldn't just collapse, you know, and it was just like devastated. Stockdale came. He said, Bruno, we will do it next season, no worries. And it felt like that's the thing that you have to say. But I think that experience, it's not too many teams that after a dramatic situation that we had, not just that season, like a few players that we've been for a long time in those situations, to come back and do it again, you know, like that shows the character and the you know, like the DNA of the group. I'm that type of guy that I try to just be focused on the positive things, you know what I mean? Like, it's why I need to think about bad, you know, like experiences or those. The only way I can think about bad experiences because I want to learn to do it better. But I don't keep inside those bad things, you know. It's that those bad experiences, because it's not gonna take me anywhere, you know. And just focus on the good things. It was a lazy time, basically. You know, I normally shave. I was shaving like beard and my head as well. The game day or the day before the game, you know. But summertime, you know, it was like you know, you took it much easier. And I started like living it. And one of my friends, he said, just leave it. And I said, okay. And I was all pre-season with that. And we started the season, and we were winning games. And you know, and I become like, okay, I will leave it. And you know, and it become like that was, I don't know, like it was good. My family was happy with that, and I say, okay, here we go. And I since then, you know, I've got beard. Sometimes it's not a good thing because it's so easy to spot me. You know what I mean? Because any like bald guy with a beard, that's Bruno. I've got some friends like they bald and with beard. Sometimes they stop them, you know, like thinking it's me. But yeah, I mean, I think it was a good decision. I didn't know until I woke up one day and after, you know, like, I think I was having breakfast and after breakfast I checked my phone and they post something on Instagram and I thought it was a joke, you know, like. But after I started like getting like messages about, did you see that? And I saw it and it was like, wowzers, you know, I think I've been there once or twice because for me it's quite embarrassed to you know, like to walk around there, you know, like I was like, no, I'm walking there and let's just, you know, like getting away from the mural. But it was, of course, I was really, you know, really impressed and, you know, like and thankful of that. I've tried to keep, you know, away from all those things, you know, and just, you know, try to be a normal guy, you know, and you know, like I've been talking to everyone like I've been like another people, you know, normal guy, but that's why I think, you know, like I never thought about like being famous or whatever, you know. For me it was just a normal guy playing football. All of us, we've got an ego, you know what I mean, all of us. But my ego in that terms is not never been like, yeah, you know, like that's really important on my life. It's not, you know what I mean? For me, the most important thing is love that I can see when I walk into the streets or I'm talking to fans or when I'm interacting with them. You know, that's for me. I'm going to the park to play football with my kids and we end up playing 20 kids there, you know, like 11-11 game on the Wish Park, you know what I mean? That's what I like, that's what maybe if at some point of my life I have to leave, that's what I will miss, you know? Of course, like being in the stadium and all of the fans singing or your name or, you know, that's the most amazing thing, you know, because it's so special. But actually interacting with them, because I consider myself like a people guy, you know what I mean? Like I like talking to everyone and you know, like that's for me the most important thing, you know, and see the respect, you know, and the love, that's for me more than enough.
Well, I think you've got to have some gravitas, haven't you, to be recognised by only one name rather than two. And he certainly brings that. He's kind of almost epitomised the spirit of the club and the dignity, I think, as well.
I think he's really sort of adopted the whole culture of the football club. I don't know him personally very well, but whenever I've spoken to him over the years, he seems very kind and generous with his time. He's always got time for the fans, no matter what age they are. He's helpful, he's considered. For me, he is the perfect professional.
Well, Bruno is definitely one of the best persons I have met thanks to football. He's a fantastic man. He was a fantastic teammate and he is a great leader. He's a very good friend and a fantastic human being.
We had a meeting with Chris, with the gaffer, and he said to me, you're gonna be the captain. Because at that stage I was, you know, like maybe, you know, like the player with like a bit longer there, like experience and all the stuff. But after, you know, like we know how important it is to be a captain in England, and I didn't know if I was gonna be or not. You know, I know how big is in the British culture, you know, and for me it was a really important moment.
Murray has scored for the Seagulls!
Again, you know, we're going back to our character, you know, our togetherness, our, you know, DNA, you know, never give up, you know, like even when you're having a bad game, stay in the game, you know. You're talking about Birmingham, for example, we conceded 1-0 and we scored 2 goals in 10 minutes. You know, but why? Because we didn't give up, because we stayed in the game, and we know in Championship how a game can change so fast. And yeah, maybe sometimes we didn't play as, you know, like bright that we played the year before, but we were more mature as a team, and we were just a machine of winning games.
Murphy still going, covering across there is Hawes. Murray wants to get on the rebound, nods it forward. Chance here for Knockaert. Still going, teasing the defender, tucks it under the keeper and scores for the Seagulls. Anthony Knockaert, he's simply box office. Wolves 0, Albion 2, and surely the Seagulls are 1 win away from the Premier League.
So many games, like important games, Norwich at home, you know, for example, beating Norwich 5-0, Sheffield Wednesday away. I think it was, I don't know how many years Brighton didn't beat, or never, you know, beat Sheffield Wednesday away.
That's my birthday, 36!
You know, it's like so many moments that it was looking like it was the year. But that game at Wolves, not just of course because we won the game, it was the way that we played and all the stuff, you know, it felt like yes, you know, like now we really close.
20 years ago, the club's staring into the abyss, and now, well, the Seagulls can prepare for the big time.
It was a massive day, but for me it was even the most important moment. It was like when you just sit down and you think about it. At that moment you play the game, of course it's difficult to play that game with the same focus in terms of like, yeah, it's another game, you know, it's almost impossible because of the atmosphere, because you know what it means. But for me the moment it was when I sat down in the changing room and you just like, you don't know, you not just think about that moment, you think like all those years, you know, it came back to me like Gordon Greer, Calderon, you know, like all those players that they were in playoffs, and I saw them after those semi-finals crying. It came to me those moments, you know, because I think I said that I think it was one of at the Amex end of the season party, you know, like that promotion is not just us, it's all those players and players years before, you know, like we know our history, you know, like to have a house or a stadium to play, and you know, like driving 100 miles or further to play a game. You know, all those players that they didn't have even the facilities that we've got now, that's part of them as well. And for me, like that moment, it was like seeing myself all those like seasons going through, and it was a special moment. Like, it was crazy in the changing room. And I'm gonna remember like sitting down, just like at that time crying, but like the happiness, emotion, you know, but quiet and just trying to think what we achieved at that moment. That was a massive moment, of course for myself and my family, but for the club as well. Amazing, you know, that parade was one of the most amazing things that I ever seen, you know, to be in that stage, and I couldn't see the end of of all our fans, you know. It was I don't know exactly the number, but it was just amazing. The vibe You know, it was in that parade. It was just crazy. The quality is amazing. You know, I mean. Premier League, the difference is like you're gonna have any mistake that you're gonna have on the pitch, you know, you're gonna be punished because the quality is just like so good, and I really enjoy it every single game, and in every stadium, being in the most amazing stadiums in the world, you know, with such like an amazing history, Anfield, Old Trafford, you know, like all those stadiums, have been really special. I'm really happy. You know, I'm really happy because I've played quite a lot of games. The way that I've played, we achieved as a team our aim. You know, and especially again, you know, at my stage of my career, you know, with the age, to keep playing against players that they much younger than you, faster than you, stronger than you, and you keep performing at this level. I'm really happy of.
Across it goes, surely a goal, not given, comes out for proper. And it's been given, the Albion have scored.
My highlight, it would be especially that Man U game of the first season, when we play at home, our last home game, and just like it was that win that gave us the chance to keep playing in the Premier League another season. I think that was the most special moment in the Premier League. I was saying, yeah, I feel good, I will see, you know, like, but that was a feeling for the last few years, you know. I was saying to my missus, like, no worries, for the last 4 years, no worries, I will get retired next season, you know, I will get, and I was feeling well, and carry on, you know, but I think it's really important to know when it's the moment, you know. I could have kept playing, yes, but was it the right decision? I don't think so, you know. I think it was the perfect moment, you know, and meant I like to do the things properly. And if I wanted to keep playing, I wanted to be an important part of the team and doing the right things. And it took a lot of my life to be fit, to, you know, like eating everything, like because it's about small details, but it's so many details. Sleeping well, resting well. It's a lot of sacrifice, you know, and I think it was the perfect time. I had two moments, of course, like on the pitch and all the stuff, but I had two moments. One, it was when I called to my parents and I let them know. That was difficult and that was really emotional. And the second one, it was on the I think Thursday or Friday I had that press conference, and the press conference, it was going well, it went perfect. I had another interview, you know, in a small room. The journalist said, after the last question, what would you like to say to the fans? I couldn't talk. It was like, I started like just like crying a little bit, you know, like it was hard, you know. I had those two moments. It was really hard, you know, for me, because in terms of leaving those, like to talk and to express, because you want to express yourself, you know, what you're feeling, but it was hard to say. But inside, even looking like it was like a sad moment, inside it was like really, I was happy and I was really secure about what I wanted to do. Wow, you know, I had friends here. Family, yeah, because family they've been during these 7 years. They've been a lot of times at the Amex, you know. Of course, that day was special for them as well to see, you know. But my friends, they were here, and that was, you know, like because they were former footballers and they've been really busy. They weren't like they couldn't come before, you know, like another games, and they came. My last game, they said, "Listen, definitely we're not gonna miss." And for them, it was like wow, you know, like that was, you know, like they were so emotional. I've got a video of my two friends. They came. One of them, he was recording, and the other friend was like, he was crying, and he stopped like, no, don't record me, you know, like it was quite funny, because for them, like, to see that all the stadium, it was like, wow, they didn't have an experience like this before. It was a really special day, you know, and I'm really happy and proud of that moment, to live that moment. What they saw a guy who comes from Spain, who him and his family, they adapt themselves to the culture. They, you know, like, I've been living in the same place, like I've been involved with the community, and after, one of the most, I think maybe the most important thing is like what the fans anywhere, they're looking for the players that they play with courage and they give everything on the pitch, you know. And I think that's what I've been trying to do. You can play better or worse, but if you give everything, you know, like on the pitch, that's what they're looking for, you know. And that's, I think, the key points, you know, and on the why we connect, you know, so well.